When the Air Force turned the maintenance of their radar stations over to civilian contractors, I ended up working for RCA Service Company. They sent me to Fort Yukon Air Force Station, Alaska, and I replaced 11 electronic technicians. That meant I was on call 24/7. One of the locals told me about a trapper's shelter about 2 miles up the Porcupine River. Being an avid fisherman, I had to see it for myself. I convinced the site supervisor to let me go for a weekend if I could rig up some kind of communication with the base. We all carried handheld UHF radios when we left the station, so I built an antenna, grabbed a length of coax, and figured it would work well enough. 4 other guys wanted to go. We borrowed 2 boats from a local guide service, and when Friday came, we were off on our little bush adventure. We found the shelter without any trouble. There was one shaggy pine behind it, and I had one of the younger guys shinny up the trunk and mount the antenna. Once he got it in place, we had communication with the base. The shelter was as basic as they come. 1 door opening with no door, no windows, a potbelly stove in the middle, and homemade bunk beds along 3 walls. Dusk was coming on. We built a fire, drank a few beers, and swapped, "You're not going to believe this," stories. One by one we turned in. 2 of us slept inside, 3 outside in sleeping bags. In the morning I made cowboy coffee, and we ate the sandwiches the cook sent along in case we didn't catch any fish. After breakfast, another guy and I took a boat upriver to fish. We positioned the boat sideways, facing upstream, and drifted down with the current. The fishing was great. Nearly every cast brought in a decent fish. I had just taken one off the hook and turned to get more bait when I looked up. And there was the bear, standing on his hind legs, sniffing the air, staring right at us about 50 yards ahead, and we were drifting closer. The other guy grabbed his rifle, but I said, "To hell with the gun. Start the motor and let's get out of here." We went back upstream, fished some more, and when we drifted down again, the bear was gone. It was a brown bear, not a grizzly, I don't think, but it looked 2 stories tall. We docked and cleaned our catch on a log near the water. That evening, we had salmon fillets over an open fire. Later, we heard a ruckus near the boats. When we looked over the bank, there was the bear again, eating the fish entrails. We shouted and fired a couple rounds into the air, and the bear ran into the brush. We sat around the fire again, told more stories, and eventually turned in. 3 outside, 2 inside. I wished I'd slept outside. The ground had to be more comfortable than that bunk bed. Sometime in the night, I heard someone bump the stove. I figured the other guy had gotten up to relieve himself and stumbled into it. When I turned on my flashlight, there was the bear, inside the cabin, among us. We made a lot of noise, and the bear went out the door and disappeared into the night. In the morning, the tracks showed it had walked right up the path, just a few feet from the guys sleeping outside. We had cowboy coffee again and leftover salmon. After breakfast, we packed up and headed back to the base. And we had a, "You're not going to believe this story to tell."